Ladies and gentlemen, now today on this magical day, the 1st of April, as we all know, a day where you should believe absolutely everything that you see and read, Kabam have blessed us with news on a brand new champion, Aunt May, Herald of Galactus, and there are rumours to have Horseman of Apocalypse, Uncle Ben, in the works as well. It's going to be the biggest month that this game has ever seen. We are honestly putting in a new category for Aunt May. These abilities are absolutely unbelievable, man. So let's break down the champion spotlight for Herald of Galactus Aunt May. Number one on my list, man. Put away your Silver Centurions, lock up your Jabari Panthers, because this is the new meta, boys. So we've got the abilities. You wouldn't hit an old lady. Aunt May becomes unstoppable, shrugging off all basic attacks because, and I can't stress this enough, it's Aunt May. You're going to try and punch her or something? And I think the release of this kind of ability into the meta of Marvel Contest of Champions really raises an important question for Alliance War defense. How are you going to beat an old lady unless you had a stick? I'm just saying, it's adding up, boys. Summer 2021, Emo Peter Parker, the first old lady counter? The facts couldn't be clearer at this point. Aunt May also has a synergy with all Peter Parker's Spider-Man champions. Having Aunt May around keeps spirits and health up, granting 5% health per Peter Parker. And also Heralds of Galactus, all the well-known Heralds of Galactus in one spot makes them gain 90 additional crit damage rating, which is kind of like a good synergy, but not a good synergy. Then we've also got Left at the Altar. So who got cold feet? Question mark. How many feet? Question mark. All lonely champions gain plus 4% perfect block chance. And then we've got Auntie, and Auntie. Only works if Ant-Man opposes Aunt May while putting down his bet during a poker game. And that synergy is pretty self-explanatory. The haters will say that there is no way that Aunt May could ever become a Herald of Galactus. But the origin story is right here in front of us on the internet on the 1st of April. Do I think it's a lie? I don't think so. I think it's real, man. You know, I'm trusting my eyes on this one. And when May Riley Parker was left to babysit the son of her nephew's friend, a young boy named Franklin Richards, she could never have expected that cosmic powers would later be transferred to her. A fight against Galactus caused the loving aunt to become a cosmic herald, known to some as the Golden Oldie. Now she assists the World Eater by finding alternative, sometimes baked good base sources to satisfy his never-ending hunger. Pretty convincing, if you ask me. The power of the Herald has granted Aunt May multiple immunities and resistances, and Aunt May's abilities are driven by her need to feed Galactus. May builds up wheat cake stacks which can be deployed after using her special 3. The wheat cakes are then fed to her opponent, causing them to be weighed down by these carb-heavy treats, as Aunt May gains fury from your inability to clean your plate for once. Of course, being a Herald of Galactus, she is a cosmic character, and her basic abilities involve invisibility, energy damage, fury, and wheat cakes. So her strengths include Incinerate, Cold Snap, and Shock debuffs. Each Incinerate, Cold Snap, or Shock debuff on Aunt May deals 100% reduced damage and counts as a unique buff for her abilities, greatly increasing her potential damage output. Also, if you find a Cold Snap, then you put on a sweater. You'll catch your death out there, kid. We all want a happy and healthy Aunt May. She also has high energy damage, so each unique buff deals a burst of energy damage on hit, and Aunt May's special 2 greatly increases the amount of damage generated by this ability. Some people might say that these are the abilities of Silver Surfer, but this is definitely a Kabam original right here. Also, her weaknesses include frequent bleeds. Even though Aunt May is immune to bleed, whenever she would receive a bleed, she loses 2 wheat cake stacks and doesn't generate any fury from their removal. This can't occur more than once every 2 seconds. But even so, any champion that can frequently, repeatedly trigger bleeds will also be able to keep Aunt May's wheat cake stacks and fury at low level throughout the fight. This means her special attacks won't gain any additional abilities, and she won't go unstoppable when struck. Of course, the next time you look in the mirror, you'll need to have a long hard think about the fact that you made Aunt May bleed? That feel good? Question mark. You making the right choices in life? Wow, bud. Just wow. Yeah, man, that made me think as well. So she's immune to bleed, armor break, armor shatter, nullify, stagger, and fate sealer effects. Incinerate, cold snap, and shock debuffs on Aunt May generate 1 weak cake stack per debuff. She gains 1 weak cake stack when struck and when blocking a hit, and also 4 on a well-timed block. Very similar to Thing's rock stack mechanics here, by the look of it. And if you really want to go there, if you bleed Aunt May, you son of a bitch, she's going to lose 3 of her weak cake stacks that she works so hard to get. Cruel, man, cruel. But they're her main ability, and learning how they're generated and making the best use of them is the key both to fighting as Aunt May and also fighting against her. The best wheat cakes are made using buckwheat flour mixed with whole wheat flour. Use applesauce or bananas as an egg replacement if you have a plant-based diet, but make sure the molasses is room temperature when mixed into the batter. Flip them when you see the tiny bubbles rising to the top, and serve with a real maple syrup and not the chemical stuff. Very important. Wheat cake stacks last indefinitely, up to 15 stacks, and any additional lasts for 5 seconds, but they are capped at 20. And the fact that Aunt May's wheat cake stacks have a duration once she reaches 15 stacks is actually beneficial, because when those wheat cake stacks expire, they'll give Aunt May a passive fury for the rest of the fight. These wheat cakes are also deeply carb heavy and will stick to your ribs. You look so skinny. Have you been eating? Load up on some of these before you go fighting. So when Aunt May is hit and she has 15 or more stacks of wheat cake, she becomes unstoppable for 5 seconds and removes 3 wheat cakes. So this is the main ability to keep in mind when fighting against Aunt May, because as soon as she has 15 wheat cake stacks, any additional hits will grant her unstoppable, and this takes effect immediately. So Aunt May is able to strike back even if her opponent is still swinging, but the first opponent must remember that they hit Aunt May. Why? Why did you do that? That's really not cool. Her special 1 ability is called What Am I Looking At? Aunt May's new golden form confuses her opponent and they lose track of her, and this inflicts a non-stacking passive shock, dealing 2,400 energy damage over 8 seconds. After this attack, Aunt May activates a cosmic cloak to go invisible for 3 seconds, giving the opponent a 100% chance to miss, but this will not trigger when fighting an opponent with psychic shielding. And if Aunt May lands a basic attack, blocks an attack, or the opponent activates a special attack, her position is revealed and invisibility is removed. When playing Aunt May, you'll never want to throw the special 1 while the opponent has 1 or more full bars of power, since the opponent might retaliate with a special attack of their own and strip away Aunt May's cloak. Instead, you want to bait the opponent's special before using Aunt May's. This way you have free and easy access to heavy intercepting via the cloak. Also good for you, May, putting the gold into your golden years. Then her special 2 is Golden Oldie, so Aunt May gathers more of the power cosmic and shines even brighter, blinding and pushing back her opponent. So Aunt May increases the potency of any burst of energy or physical damage by 180% for the duration of this attack, but also the developers note here, once Aunt May is sitting on a comfortable number of unique buffs, launching the special 2 can be devastating for the opposing champion. If the unblockable buff is something to be desired, players can hold on to the power cosmic buff until after the special attack is concluded and refresh its duration. The image of Aunt May will likely be burnt into your eyes for half a day. We are sorry and you are welcome. Then finally, we've got a special ultimate ability, Terrestrial Tree. So Aunt May crushes the opponent with a piece of the arena, then travels to space to feed a planet-sized breakfast treat to them. Aunt May is unblockable and unstoppable for 8 seconds. She's going to gain passive wheat cake stacks, increasing fury, and all of her fury is 100% stronger for 8 seconds. So this ability Aunt May gains at 20 wheat stacks improves all of her fury effects, including the fury she gains at 15 wheat cake stacks, and all of the passive fury she's gained so far from removing the wheat stacks, and any new fury from removing wheat cake stacks while the ability is active. She slaved over a hot cosmic oven to make you these wheat cakes. You're not just going to push the plate away now, are you? Maybe you need some more syrup. And signature ability is you wouldn't hit an old lady, unstoppable. unstoppable. Aunt May becomes unstoppable, shrugging off all attacks for 10 seconds. Seriously, you're going to try and beat up Aunt May just because she's gold and shiny? I can't stress this enough, it's Aunt May, you absolute monster. So we've covered all the core abilities, however, what are the recommended masteries if you really want to maximize Aunt May? So we got the Double Edge mastery here. So Aunt May is immune to bleed, so the bleed caused by Double Edge won't affect her, but she will still gain the attack boost. In a regular fight, bleed removes weak cake stacks, but the bleed from the Double Edge happens at the start of the fight before Aunt May has any weak cake stacks to remove. But it's important to remember that with great weak cakes comes great digestibility. Be careful where you go with that much carbs and fiber rumbling around inside you. It could potentially be very dangerous. I think the only logical conclusion to draw from this spotlight is Aunt May is beyond, a little bit further beyond God tier, and the best champion in this game. There's no debate, the conversation's over. Thank you all very much for watching, take care, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.